What's up guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Summer Slay episode 5. Okay, so we are very lucky today to be joined by Gregory.
I bless you with luck. I would like to give a little preface. We have worked for 72 hours straight. We had a Bloom restock yesterday, but this is still happening. We are a day late. We promised these on Mondays. This is going up on a Tuesday. We're going to be back to Monday next week, but we're here.
We're here, and we apologize for being a day late. Greg is here with us. We're very lucky. We're very excited. Everyone, say hello to Greg. He's a bit shy. Give him some encouragement. As you guys know, we run two companies, Mari Fitness and Bloom, and throughout the day we interact with thousands of women, thousands of customers, all starting their fitness journeys, and we hear a lot of mistakes, misconceptions, things that we wish we had known when we started our fitness journeys, and we feel like we are good people to address these mistakes and help you guys avoid them in your fitness journeys. Even if you are not at the start of your fitness journey, it is possible you are making one of these mistakes, and we're here to help. We are going to go through 10 fitness mistakes that we can help you avoid in your fitness journey. So with that said, let's hop right into the video. The first mistake on our list, which is probably our most suggested avoidance and one we talk about all the time, is going 0 to 100. What does that mean? A lot of people think that when they start their fitness journeys, they have to change their entire lifestyle all at once. They have to change their whole diet, drink a juice every day, go on 5-mile runs, work out every day. It's overwhelming to think about because people think that they have to do all these things at once, when in reality, all it takes is a baby step, one small habit, one at a time. So when people have this mental idea that fitness is this crazy dramatic life change, it can become too overwhelming and too unattainable to the point that they don't start, when in reality a baby step is always the first step, and a small change is still a change. I don't know anyone that starts a journey or starts achieving a goal by changing their entire lifestyle at once. It's not sustainable. So mentally that can be really negative, but also physically and scientifically going 0 to 100 is actually a hindrance. Yeah,
and you'll see this across everything that we publicly preach on Instagram and through the products, the gym guides and the home guides. They start slow. There's a reason we started Summer Slay in the beginning of March. There's no other Instagram pages starting their summer preps in the beginning of March. They start them a month before March. That's not how we do things. That's not sustainable. That's not actually how you're going to slay summer, right? You slay summer by creating a sustainable lifestyle, essentially. So I'm just going to explain to you how our gym guides work, right? They might start with the first week, you're going to go to the gym 4 days, and you're going to do 4 exercises. But guess what? By week 5, you might be doing 6 exercises. The problem with starting your diet with a significant caloric deficit, with a high caloric expenditure, so you're running, you're cutting your calories, 600 calories, and you're working out as hard as you can, is what happens when you hit that plateau? What happens when you lose that 10 pounds and it flies off, and that's great, and then your body goes, I'm stalling. The scale's not gonna move, you're not gonna lose any more body fat. So where do you go from there? What are you gonna do, 2 hours of cardio? What are you gonna train for 2 hours straight? What are you going to just cut your food even more? Then what? What if you have more than 10 pounds to lose, or just regardless, it wouldn't be a healthy way of doing things. So it not only is it not sustainable, but the data, or at least the anecdotal data of what we see, is that it's not possible. You can't start going at 100 because your body is going to plateau, and you need that wiggle room. You need that room to make adjustments and to add more to your expenditure or decrease your intake, right? Essentially,
if you start the bar at 100, you're setting it too high, and your body will adjust. Bodies love to adjust. So if you're setting the bar super high, you're not eating enough, and you're exercising too much, your body will stall in fat loss and you'll have nowhere to go. And that's why I'm always telling you guys to decrease your calories as slowly as you can. You basically want to do as little as possible for as long as you can. The next mistake we're going to discuss is something that I see all over Instagram, in my comments, my DMs. It's women thinking that weight training will make them bulky. So I think the big misconception is that weight training doesn't help you burn fat, which it absolutely does. If you have never weight trained before and you're picking up some heavy weights and doing difficult movements and training different parts of your body every day, switching things up, you're burning a ton of calories, a ton. You're sweating, you're pushing weight above your body, you're squatting it down, whatever you're doing, that is burning a ton of calories, especially if your body is not used to it. And weight training is awesome because you switch it up all the time, so your body really isn't adjusting to a particular workout that you do every day. And that is how I lost the majority of my weight training.
So the idea behind weight training, right, and why it works and why this is finally publicly becoming known is that your body is going to increase its muscle mass. It's going to have more muscle on its body. Muscle just as a rested body burns more calories. If you have more muscle, your body will require more calories. Guess what? That means you can eat more food. Guess what? That means you're going to more easily lose fat. It's a beautiful thing. And so if you're going to weight train and you're putting on more muscle, you're essentially going to be requiring more calories and almost burning fat when you're not weight training. Versus if you're doing cardio every day and you're running, you're only going to be burning calories while you're doing that running. So if you miss a week, you're not going to lose any weight that week. But if you miss a week and you have more muscle, your body just sitting there is going to require more calories.
So the next mistake, you guys know I talk about, I think in every video, somehow I always bring it up. But a big mistake I see is people copying other people's macros and other people's diets. This drives me crazy, and it's something I've done before too. In today's day and age, in 2019, we have a lot of fitness influencers on YouTube, Instagram, who do full days of eating and may or may not share their macros, which is fantastic for healthy meal ideas and recipes. But I think what ends up happening is people who are new to fitness think that they have to eat every single thing in the way that their favorite influencer is. But the truth is, everyone has a completely different body, everyone has a different lifestyle, everyone has different likes and dislikes, everyone has different things they're dealing with. So one person's diet isn't going to work for the rest of the population. You kind of have to figure out what works best for you. And I think it's totally fine to look at someone's full day of eating and get ideas. But if it doesn't fit your lifestyle, it doesn't make you feel good, and you don't like it, you don't have to eat it. It's not a magic food or a magic meal. You also have to consider the fact that everyone's body is super different. I always use myself as an example because I have a unique body, I guess. I'm 5'11" and 175 pounds-ish. If you are watching this video and you're 5'2" and 110 pounds, we probably shouldn't be eating the same macros. I require a lot more food physically than you do. So when you're watching full days of eating or getting inspiration, keep in mind that you definitely do not have to copy that person's macros or diet exactly. Okay. The next mistake that we have is skipping rest days.
This is something that I've had to apply to every part of my life. You know, just taking breaks, whether it's the gym, the diet, or work. You know, we're both people that think more is better, and I know most people think that off the bat, but that's not the case. So we found that taking about 2 rest days completely off from the gym, you know, if you want to take a hike, if you want to take an extra long walk with the dog around the block, that's fine. But to give your body 2 days off, we have found is pretty crucial. We found that if we do 6 days or if we do 7 days, those workouts are going to be 80%. And we would much rather have 5 100% workouts a week than have 6 or 7 50% workouts a week. That's what's worked best for us. It's funny because during this bulking season, Mari's had a couple weeks where she's only made it to weight train 4 days that week, and her strength numbers have been going through the roof.
And my gains?
Yeah, the gains, yeah. You know, this coach that I used to follow on Instagram used to say, muscles and progress are made on the couch and in the bed, not at the gym. You know, when you go to the gym and you break down muscle fiber, you need to let your body go repair that muscle fiber. I
used to be really bad with that when I first started because I actually loved going, and I felt like I was gonna ruin my progress if I took a day off. But it's become really essential, and I'm so glad that Greg made me take days off. The next mistake I see all the time, and I do it still actually, is comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. That's a really big one. I think it's great to admire someone and admire their work ethic or admire, you know, their dedication to fitness. But what you shouldn't do is compare your body to someone who's been doing fitness for a long time, especially in terms of muscle gain, because gaining muscle can take years. It's easy to become frustrated with your progress when you feel like you should look like someone who's been training for 6 years plus when you've been training for 2 months. It takes time. It's so worth it. And you will get the body that you want, I promise. And just seeing small changes is so rewarding, but absolutely don't think that you should look like someone who's been doing this for years. I know comparison can be a really tricky thing nowadays because Instagram makes it really difficult to just focus on yourself, but this is your fitness journey, and chapter 1 is better than not being on a chapter at all. So definitely try to focus on yourself. If you're following someone that makes you feel bad about yourself, unfollow them. The next mistake that I have personally made, and I see other people make all the time, is expecting other people to reward you.
Yeah, I feel like this list is coming out my whole life right now, outside of fitness. There's some cool journeys that you can put yourself on in life, whether they're, you know, trying to reach financial success or educational success, or in this case, fitness success. And nobody's going to care as much as you about your personal fitness journey. Nobody's going to care as much as you when you lose 5, 10, 20, 50 pounds. Nobody's going to care when you get to squat a little bit more than, you know, your prior workout. And that's okay, because it is a personal journey and you're doing it for yourself, and it needs to be that way. And that doesn't mean that you can't celebrate those wins, right? And not only does it mean that you can't, but you should celebrate those wins. You know, we're huge fans over here of encouraging people to get like a gold bathing suit or a gold dress that you want to wear halfway or at the end of your journey. You know, if you want to set a little reward that you get at different strength levels, different weight loss levels, different pant size levels. You know, those things are awesome. You need to reward yourself. You need to pat yourself on the back. Even your loved ones are not going to be as committed to this drastic diet change, this drastic fitness change in your life. I don't want to start throwing some hip hop quotes here, but like, they don't want to see you winning. They don't want to see you bettering yourself, because they're not, right? So you can't expect them to dance for you when you're 4 months into your journey, right? Maybe 2 weeks in they will, but it's gonna fade out, and that's okay, because again, it's for you.
So I think the main piece of advice from that is learn to clap for yourself. For real. I was on a very long weight loss journey, like 9 months? It was long. And at first, I kind of did expect people to notice and make me feel good about it. And it took me a month or 2 to realize you're not doing this for them, you're doing it for you. I actually didn't even have Greg with me most of the time. He was going to school in Philly, I lived in New York. So throughout the week when I made, you know, strength PRs or I lost a couple more pounds, I would tell him, but he wasn't really there. And I really learned to feel good for myself and do things when people weren't watching and reward myself when it was necessary. It can be difficult. Like, for example, I went to the same Planet Fitness every day for what, 6 months at first, and not one person at the front desk said anything to me. I lost so much weight. I literally changed my whole body. And I think on one of the last days I was working out there before I left that gym, someone said, "Oh, you look like you may have lost a couple pounds." I was like, yeah, just 50. Just 50, it's fine. Don't be offended, and don't rely on other people to feel good about your journey.
I remember Mari was in the beginning of all this, before we even had the page, Mari was working the front desk at a gym, not Planet Fitness, a different gym. And towards the end of her working there, she started this page, right, this Instagram page, and they all said, "We didn't even know that you lost all this weight." Mind you, it was while she was working there. I mean, no, you know, I don't want to scare anyone off from starting this journey and expecting praise. I mean, shoot, maybe you will get some praise, but it can't be the reason you're doing it, because it will probably be disappointing.
The next mistake is super, super common, and that is using the scale as your only tool for measuring progress. So there's a few reasons why this isn't a great thing to do. One, I think it can become a little bit obsessive. If you don't see the number going down, obviously a lot of people assume that their progress is not happening, there's nothing going on, but in reality you could be holding water, you could have gained some muscle. There's a bunch of different things that could go on to make that reading inaccurate. I think the best way of tracking your progress is by looking at changes in the mirror, taking progress photos, seeing if your clothing is changing. Tracking your strength progress is another great one.
My personal favorites are strength gains, because remember, if you're putting on muscle, your body will require more calories, which is just a win overall in a fitness journey. How your clothes are fitting, specifically obviously like the waist. You know, the scale, especially for females, is going to play with you throughout the month. Your hormones are going to change, your body's going to hold a little bit of water. You need to watch out for that thing. So try to keep, I mean, it's a great tool, but it can't be your only tool.
The next and final mistake is not pushing yourself enough in weight training. I've heard a bunch of times people trying weight training for the first time and saying they didn't feel it or that they weren't tired afterwards. Then you were not doing it correctly, most likely.
Let me just give an example. You know, the weight number itself does not matter, right? If Mari can squat 180 pounds for whatever reps, that doesn't mean you need to be doing that weight to get the same results. Here's what does matter. What does matter is that if I am doing a 10 rep set, right? Let's say I'm doing overhead press, okay? And I'm using 5-pound dumbbells, whatever it is. And that 5-pound dumbbell is something that I can safely perform with by myself without a spotter or whatever. By the 7th rep, you need to be making an ugly face. You need to be, you know, really struggling to get that weight up, right? So if I finish all 10 reps, and so I'm 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I put them down and I pick up my phone to go text my friend, that doesn't matter. You didn't just do anything, you didn't break down any muscle fibers, and you definitely barely burned any calories. You're not going to get stronger. What needs to be happening is that 7th rep, you're now, right? That 8th rep, you're now, by that 10th rep, you need to be going, you know, giving everything you've got to get shaking and whatever, and then you put that weight down and you're like, oh,
frick.
Right? That's what needs to be happening. You need to be hitting failure, and we talk about this in our guides a lot. It does not matter what weight you are using. What matters is that it's heavy for you and that you can safely perform it and that your form does not break, your form is not poor, but you need to be pushing yourself very hard. Though, you know, the way I like to think about it is that those last 3 reps are the ones that actually count. Good?
All right, our battery is flashing. We have been filming for a while.
I'm ready for lunch.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. We really hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm posting videos every week for Summer Slay. We love you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, thanks for having me.